Hey, Dana here, and welcome to my garage. Well, today we're going to replace the little hose that comes out of the block, goes to your thermostat housing, and it's down there. It's going to be a mess. I got to pull the battery out. I got to pull the battery box out. I got to get air cleaner. I got to get all these little things out of my way before I can even get to it. So stay tuned. All right, boys and girls. Well, I got in here. If you can see, I tried to get the clamp off. I got the clamp off of this one. I got the clamp off of that. But if you look right in there, here on the other side of this thing, you're gonna see that when I pull on this, it separates, and it's going into your pump. That's what my problem is right there. It's broke off though. It looks like it's broke off. Well, bad news for me. It snapped off. It has snapped off that freaking pump. And I'm going to have to place it. Water pump. Terrific. Okay, now I'm going to find out. We have to pull this off of here because there's two bolts that you can't get to with them where they are. So right now I'm going to go ahead and use a three-prong pulley puller and see if I can pop that. My only concern is it strong enough? Is the pulley actually strong enough to come off of there and not bend? Which means that's going to be freaking wobbly as heck now if it'll be out of balance. So let's see what happens. Hey, messing around with a little more ingenuity. I found that's an Allen that goes in there. I found an Allen and I used the socket. I actually found a T and a set of claws that's in my freaking slide hammer kit. Now, something I'm concerned with is with those being, I got them up as high up here as I could, and they're pushing on this lip here, not on this thing here. I tried a three-prong puller to go over the top, and this is what happened. I noticed it, and I quit just in time. Gonna have to pound those back out so they're flat. So, that, I had just enough, this kit right here is in that slide hammer kit. And I had just enough thread left to get that to go, and I heard it pop. So we're good here. I have a puller kit that I got way back. This will put that back on. Where are you? You got to get the right threads. Those are going to go inside. And thank God I got them. I had this. This is just a standard, I think it's a PT pulley kit. The problem was getting this pulley off. Hopefully I got enough that's going to fall off of here because I ain't got much thread left. And I was wondering which part of that slid out of there. So that slides over the top of that. All right, so, and of course, unfortunately, you cannot get those two bolts with that pulley on there. This is crazy. So it's, hopefully I can get it all the way off with the threads I got left. You know how much left? Is that it? Yep, that was enough. Clink. All right, sweet. I was afraid I wasn't going to get that out. I get my... All right, and that's out. As you can see, I used a Allen. What else size is it? Can't remember. 8. It's a number 8. Okay, so with that taken care of, when I go to put this back on, it's going to go in this thing here. All right. You spin that, it's going to push that plate back, your plate back on. Get that out of the way for a minute. Okay, so it's going to go just like that, and it's going to go back in here. It's going to flush up against here. This is going inside here, and it's going to screw right up in there. Okay. It's not going to take much to go back on, but you need probably about 3 or 4 threads. Inside there, I got plenty. That's plenty. I didn't really let it get carried away going in there. And then, like I said, that's how this is going to work. Got the pulley right here. You line it up, and then this is going to, as you tighten this up, it's going to tighten it right back on. Okay. So I had everything I needed. I wouldn't have it had I not had that slide kit. Okay, and I'm not sure what size threads those are, but I just happen to have it. They happen to be in this kit. All right, so what's in there? I got to get back. I'm going to have to straighten that out. Keep that thing up as tight. Keep the claws up as tight as you can against here. Because that's your strength is right there. And that worked. As I was worried about. If you use a... Again, I tried to use a three claw, and this is what I wound up with. Okay, this is the worst. This one here. So one side didn't even get it. It was the first 2 claws. That one there, and that one there. All right. So your bolts. You see that one right there. This one right here. And the one immediately to it, this one here, they're 8s. Okay, so you got this hose up here, and there is a hose down below. Where this thing is, there's 2 there. All right, after about a 2-hour fight here, we are finally there. I've got that spinning so I can get it out. Here in just a second. Down. You got to get the freaking O2 sensor plugs disconnected because they're on the bottom side of your hose here. So that is that. Oh, that was the hardest, getting that freaking plug disconnected. So that's where we're at. All right, the removal is complete. Oh, man, what a pain. All right. And then, of course, you got that lower hose. I'm not looking really that healthy because it's been on the bottom down there soaking up oil. All right, so that is the removal process. Now to put it back together. Stay tuned. All right, well, 2 days later, I went ahead and went through Prime with a 2-day delivery. An external, this thing is an external pump on that motor. It's not an internal where you'd have this pump, you'd have the pump with the impeller going into the block. This is actually outside. So I paid $39 for it. Vice, if you went through advance, it was going to cost $130. So, and this is what breaks off, is this freaking plastic piece. It's crazy, huh?
He's laying on the floor.
Well, we're back, day 2. Time to put this puppy back on. I got the elbow back on. There is a line, and there's a tab right there to line up. Got my clamp. Secure that one. And of course, I dropped that one. Yeah, and you did the same thing. That's where it wound up, isn't it? I need to change this clamp around so I can get to it. I need to spin that sucker completely around. I put it in the same way. I can't get to it. Okay, got your lower hose. Which one is it actually being? Up here. And you're actually facing the wrong direction here. Then you got to get your O2 sensors put back on, or hooked back up, I should say. That's up here. Get that. You get the one hose there. It's got to put on there. Line it up. My bolts. Run off my bolts. I need some light. I'm blind as a bat. Down there. Never have enough light. All right, very good. Back here. Beautiful. Okay. Now get our bolts lined up. Man, I need some gloves. It's 17 degrees out again. Don't want to get it, which it doesn't want to get any warmer. Going pretty much tight right up my hand. I do have a 8 right here somewhere. 8 ratchet. I use got a skinny ratchet with a you got a 3/8 on one end, 1/4 inch on the other. It is Pittsburgh. I got it at Harbor Freight. Tighten it right up, finger tight. They're all finger tight. Just snug these up. Okay. That's that. Let's see if I can reach the freaking O2 sensors. Alright, both O2 sensors. Alright, I got them on this side. I got the plugs on this, on the outside of your hose. Let me show that to you because it took me freaking forever to get that off. Alright, okay, so there's your hose and those are your O2s. I got them underneath that instead of through it. That was such a pain. Okay, so there's that nut, that bolt there, this one here, that one here. They're all tight.
The plug right there on top of your
go ahead and put your hose, this hose on first.
There's a story behind
this one
that.
On first.
Because of those O2 sensor plugs.
Rig that around. I'll go ahead and I'll squeeze that clamp, get it back over here, and the rest of this, all the rest of these hook up to your. This is your thermostat
Housing.
All right, we finally have all the freaking clamps on here, at least on the main parts here. One there and then one down below. Okay, I still gotta get 2 lines still hooked up here. This one's gonna go to this one here. This one's got to go in there. In fact, I can probably put that one on there now. Alright. Okay, next, we got to get our pulley back on here. Okay, pulley time. Unfortunately, I got to do some repair. Do not use a 3-point prong puller on the outside of this. All right, if you're going to use a small one, go on the very inside. Okay, so it's grabbing this. All right, not grabbing your freaking thing. So I got to repair it. Okay, I just put it in the vise on this side, on this edge, and squeezed it. And the sucker came almost square. So I'm happy. All right, next, I'm gonna go ahead and get the pulley back on here. And like I explained to you yesterday, I use the standard power steering pulley remover right here, and those threads are perfect for that. This is going to go straight in here, and then we're going to go ahead and be able to tighten it right up and right back on there. Right on that thing. And we'll crank it right back on there. Goes right back on there. Okay. Get paid for itself again. All right, so pulley is now installed.
Make sure you put your hands on that plug and shove it in and make sure it's seated.
Okay, next thing.
Somebody was there before me and broke the tab on it.
Put the belt back on.
So while I was messing with the O2 sensor plugs, I inadvertently pulled that plug out a little bit.
You push it on and pull it over it. I do recommend putting a new one on here. But I did check this, and it's not that old. Look for cracks. There aren't any cracks. So in front of the back. Something else. I'm gonna take it over top pretty easy. Now what I did when I took it off, I got my screwdriver in there, and I just flipped it over. That worked well too. I think you could just leave it like that, where it's tight, and then just start it, and it should, I would think it would just pop on. So, all right, let's get everything back together here. Finish getting everything back together. I need this radiator hose. We're gonna put antifreeze in first. All right, get the smaller hose here. Plug it in here. Okay, this one here, that's coming out. It's another one of your heater hoses. This one here, coming underneath your primary. See, right here? Alright, this one's gonna go right up here. Plug into the bottom of your manifold. And then here's your big top hose. Gonna go there. And there's all your hoses.
Make sure that plug is
battery box
seated
back
in the top of that transmission. Because if you don't, it will not start. Because wiring goes into your starter relay.
It should be good. Alright, let's get those clamps tightened up on those two. Okay, my main line is on. The battery back up here. I got a battery. Got to put the battery box back in, 4 screws. And I put as much antifreeze through this hose as I could before I had to install it. Okay, so just running right back into the reservoir over there. I'll get the battery box in, get battery in, get your air filter box back on there, and we're going to start her up. All right. Battery's back installed. Go ahead and get our air box in. Okay. Okay. The filter is clean. Yeah, it's clean. Lock it down. Okay. Now I gotta zing up the zinc. Okay. Plug up our air temperature sensor. Inside there.
PVC tube.
Alright. Okay, now all goes well. That belt will grab and pull itself on there. I hope. Well, let's try it. I don't know if I got my keys in there. Nope. I don't have my keys. Alright, we will be back. Okay, well, I tried to start it and she will not start. No crank, no nothing. Even with auto start. It wants to. I can hear everything going through the sequences. No crank. I haven't done anything. Just put the battery back in.
Warning you about that cannon plug on the transmission.
Weird thing about it
This is why. So 4 days later, I figured it out.
I can't. Nothing happens when I turn the key. Always something with me. All right, here we are, boys and girls. I now have heat. Dead on. I've got plenty of heat up here now. I've checked, made sure I didn't have any leaks. So I'm done with that. And this was the replacement of the water pump on this 08 Mercury Mariner, because that broke off from inside that pump. That's a bad, it's a bad scenario. They busted right off in there. You can't get a new one. This is aluminum and that's not. So that's the original one after it's got 180,000 miles on it. So, bad design, boys and girls. Why couldn't it be all aluminum? So, all right, thanks for watching. Like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, definitely share. Catch me on the next Dana's Garage. And this was the replacement of the water pump on this 08 Mercury Mariner.